Well, moving into our last story of the day, really sad news here with James O'Keefe saying he was stripped power at Project Veritas and he resigned. So this is really tough because I watched a lot of Project Veritas. I supported Project Veritas. I've been featured on Project Veritas here on the Bald Brad Show. We were actually shown for a very short snippet of Project Veritas. But we have here him basically resigning because he was stripped of all his duties. So James O'Keefe announced on Monday a break with Project Veritas, the investigative group he founded, while hinting at new journalism venture in the future, which is awesome because I watched the 45-minute video that he released to his employees. I'm not going to show you all of it. I'll show you a snippet of it. But he was basically saying that he's not done. He'll take a little bit of a break, and then he's going to start something new that's basically the same thing, and kind of implying that he's going to poach certain staff from Project Veritas. And I think Project Veritas is just going to be done just in general because I think a lot of the donors are going to sit there and take their funding and go wherever James O'Keefe is going. So it's only a matter of time if Project Veritas falls apart, or it's going to be basically a soft shell of what it was previously. So in a video posted to Vimeo on Monday from a Project Veritas office, O'Keefe said he was stripped of all decision-making last week, and he described some clashes with leadership. O'Keefe said he was relieved of his authority as the CEO for at least 180 days and removed from Project Veritas board of directors, citing board meeting notes. Quote, currently, I have no job at Project Veritas, he added. I have no position here based upon what the board has done. So I'm announcing to you all that today, on President's Day, I'm packing up my belongings here. O'Keefe also claimed he had an ultimatum to the board to resign, which was not heeded, and he hinted at a future beyond Project Veritas. Our mission continues on. I'm not done. The mission will perhaps take on a new name. The Project Veritas board released a statement Monday evening saying O'Keefe has been suspended indefinitely pending a third-party investigative audit report. The statement said O'Keefe not only faced allegations of financial malfeasance, but also improperly fired the group's chief financial officer. Quote, even with all this public fallout, the board still wants me to speak with James, the board said. We do not fire him or did not fire him, nor do we want him to resign. We would like to continue conversation with James to resolve internal matters rather than litigate them publicly, which it doesn't sound like that's really the truth from what at least O'Keefe is saying. It seems like they're really targeting this guy and they really done it from within. And he even had a great quote. I'm not sure if it's in this article, but basically talking about how when he first started Project Veritas, there was a gentleman that, I don't know if it was an investor or a close friend to him or a mentor, basically said that you're not going to be destroyed from the outside. If Project Veritas were to fail, it's going to be from the inside. And it was kind of prophetic because that's basically exactly what happened. You had these 16 employees that some of them didn't even actually witness any of this stuff, but they still signed the letter of malfeasance from James O'Keefe. O'Keefe, who founded the nonprofit, famous for its sting operations, in 2011, claimed he had issued an ultimatum to the board to resign, which was not heeded. Word of internal strife at Project Veritas burst into the public view when New York Magazine influencer website reported on February 8th that O'Keefe took a paid leave from his leadership position while the board weighed his future with the company. So it's very similar to kind of what you saw with Steve Jobs, basically ousted by Apple. Both did report Steve Jobs and James O'Keefe here. Basically, there's a massive, I don't want to say episode of depression, but just pure sadness. I mean, James O'Keefe, I think he said he lost about 8 pounds from this whole ordeal and sleep as well. Very heavy on his heart with what took place. I mean, this is a guy that literally started this from the ground up. He described how he didn't even have money for tape or bubble gum, and he had to sit there and create certain boards and signs just to progress something forward, his company, and now he's basically having it stripped and taken away from him. The report said Project Veritas Executive Director Daniel Strack told staffers in an internal memo that O'Keefe would be taking a few weeks of well-deserved PTO. Around this time, it was revealed that 16 staffers signed a letter dated February 6, raising several allegations against O'Keefe, including that he was outright cruel to members of the group. James has become a power-drunk tyrant, and he's exactly who he basically pontificates on who he should be exposing. Basically, he's reflecting those very same people that basically he exposes. He's doing the very same thing, which I think is asinine. There might be some truth that he does get drunk, but we've all been drunk at company parties before, right? You have a long time, you're going out having a lot of fun. And this was 16 people. I think he had 52 employees or something, maybe 65 plus actually. I think it's 65 plus employees. The vast majority have nothing but raving reviews about him. So it makes you wonder. And like I said, not all those 16 staffers actually witnessed anything. They just heard it like offhand from somebody else, so they still signed it. So you could literally have like 2 people of those 16 that maybe said that he was cruel and that he was a drunk tyrant and told everybody else around the office. And because they're all friends, they're just going to randomly believe it all. And they signed a letter over it. When you have literally 65 plus employees, get out of here with that. Project Veritas released a statement on the evening of February 8th saying it was broadly in response to news reports. The Project Veritas board of directors and management are constantly evaluating what the best path forward is for the organization, the statement read. I don't know, maybe ask the guy that started the whole thing and built it from the ground up on what the best path forward is, not these 16 employees that probably are nobodies in this company when you got a freaking giant named James O'Keefe, the guy that's done a lot of great things, especially for the education system and exposing the left, and you're trying to destroy this great man. We're big supporters here on the Bald Brad Show of James O'Keefe, as are a lot of conservatives and a lot of parents and people in the education system for exposing these nasty leftist activist teachers here that want to sit there and trans your kids and lop off their genitals without you even knowing, giving them puberty blockers, hormone enhancers, and just the endless list of things they want to give them. So I'm actually pretty upset about this because, again, this is a great man doing great things. We all have our sins. We all have our moments. I'm not even saying that did happen. It's all alleged, but they're going to sit there and oust this guy. And then they're going to sit there, well, we're going to figure out the best pathway forward. Yeah, like you know anything. That's the guy that knows the best path forward. And he's about to put you out of business when he starts his next business, his next venture. The statement, which noted Project Veritas has 65 plus employees, there you go, did not directly address the situation involving O'Keefe. With O'Keefe's future at Project Veritas in question, Twitter user Swig shared an image of a cease and desist letter from a law firm representing donors addressed to the Project Veritas board of directors, raising concerns about any effort to remove the founder. Strack released another statement on February 15th asserting James had not been removed from Project Veritas. James is the hardest working person I've ever met, Strack said. Those who know him well know that he will not take time off unless forced to do so. So we do have a little bit of a clip here of him speaking to his employees. I don't know if this is technically leaked or what, but we have it right here. Let's just watch a little bit of it.
All for being here I think that's fair, at least most of us. We have a passion for doing the right thing in a visual way, no matter what. That's what binds us. I know many of you have experienced this despair alongside of me in the last couple weeks. One of you just told me the other day that you'd go work at Walmart at the night shift so that you could do this during the day. That's what one of you said to me. I believe you. Rather than sell out. In fact, I know this is true for many of you and many more out there who wish to be part of this. It's true. I remember back in the beginning, 13 years ago, when I had like no money, I would have to use bubble gum, duct tape. I think you were around during that time. I keep looking at you because I've known you since Andrew Breitbart. And my grandmother's chinchilla, I literally had to place a Project Veritas sticker on a piece of cardboard that I ripped off from my dad's cardboard and stick it to a microphone at Radio Shack because I had no money to buy a flag mic. And this was after experiencing a meteoric high of the acorn story. I was up and I was down. And I was broke again. And I was arrested. And then crashed down to a meteoric low, back in the carriage house, resorting once again to bubble gum and duct tape to achieve the NPR investigation that took us yet again to a meteoric high.
So he goes on there. It's 44 minutes. Feel free to watch it. There's times when he chokes up. There's times when he almost breaks down crying, as you would. I mean, literally, you put your sweat, blood, and tears into this company, and the board of directors, some knuckleheads, decide, hey, you know what? We know what's best for the company, even though they're not the ones that necessarily even started the damn thing, and we're just going to oust you on it. So he's not done. I think he's going to take a little bit of time off, regroup, probably have his donors move over and start something different. He even says it might be called Project Veritas. It might not be. I don't know who has the rights to the name, but you're going to see a lot of interesting things happen here. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.